Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Casa Magana. Today we are redecorating my coffee bar. This is the focal point of many of my reels and a lot of my Pinterest outfits because it's just so beautiful. And we rent and share a house with my parents, and this is kind of my little corner that is all me. I get to display all of my favorite things here, and it is time for a bit of a refresh. So if you've been watching my channel recently, you know that we went to San Jose and I thrifted a ton of pottery. I found bowls and plates and mugs, and there's a few other things I've thrifted recently. And there's not quite room for everything on the coffee bar. And since it's spring, I figured I would do some spring cleaning and redecorate the whole thing and add all of this pottery. And I'm gonna bring you guys along. Everything on the coffee bar is mostly coffee related, but I do have my wheat grinder here, so I have to have wheat on hand. I also really haven't had anywhere else to put my sourdough proofing bowls, but I'm gonna find a different home for them. I want this to be totally coffee centered.
To get started, I took absolutely everything that I could off of these shelves so that I could spray them and get them wiped down and clean, and just start with a bit of a blank slate. There are some bigger pieces that really can't go in any other places, like my grain mill and the espresso machine itself, because of where they plug in. They are solid, they are staying there. But everything else I wanted to play around with and see if I could get a little creative and try putting things in new places. Once everything was clean, I started with some of the bigger decorating pieces like this plate, which I knew I wanted upright, kind of like a piece of art to really display the workmanship of this pottery, and then some of the bigger artwork pieces that don't have as many options for the places that they can go because they're large.
This little hanging basket comes in handy because it's a little trash basket, so I do like to have this one hung up.
There are a few very small nails already in the wall, and because we're renting, I'm not going to add any new holes. So I am moving the things around that can hang just to try things out. And then I'm adding, like I said, the bigger pieces that cannot be moved around more easily, like the vase and this plant and this cool pottery that has the lid.
Because there's so much mismatched pottery, I really have to be paying attention to the colors and the textures just to make sure that it's cohesive in the mismatchedness. It's kind of weird, but you gotta pay attention. Little details like having a candle on a plate make a lot of difference when you are trying to make a cohesive design and you want everything to look thoughtful. I like to try a lot of things with textures and colors, so I'm seeing if I like napkins layered in this bowl, but I don't know that I do.
50% of decorating is trial and error. I decided to put the plants back where they were because there really aren't any other places where these plants can be where they won't look absolutely weird. So they went back in the exact same place that they were in.
Things like books can add height, they can add texture, visual interest, or a pop of color. These are both cookbooks, which I prefer over having random books on a shelf in my kitchen. But I have to see if the green is going to tie in with the other pops of green. We're just going to have to see.
I always like to follow the rule of two, and it tends to be either the rule of 2 or 3, and that's putting 2 or 3 things together. Like you can see in the top left, I have all of those bowls stacked, and there's a stack of 3 and then a stack of 2. There's 2 books, and things like that, I think always just add a visual interest, and they're kind of paired together, which is really nice. And I always follow that as a general rule of having 2 or 3 things clustered together when I'm trying a few things out.
Okay, I am very happy with this. And now that what I would call the framework is in place, we will start decorating with mugs. And this is just kind of for fun because these are functional. We use these every day and they're not always going to be put back in the same place, but it is fun to decorate it at least once just to my tastes perfectly. Now we are going to go through all of my ceramic mugs. Most of these are thrifted, a few are from estate sales, and a few others were gifted to me. They are so beautiful, but I only have room for my favorites, so I have to go through and decide which ones I want to keep and which ones have to go. These are the mugs that I thrifted in San Jose, and they are both staying for sure. I thrifted both of these locally, and they are some of my favorites, so they are staying. These are both estate sale finds. I think they were $3. This one is beautiful, and this one has a little M for Magana, so they're both staying. This one was a gift from my sister after she broke a very similar mug that I had thrifted, and this was a gift from my sister who lives in Idaho, and they are both staying. I got this at a flea market type of thing called Junk in Your Trunk, and I love it. And this one was thrifted locally, so they are both staying. I purchased this with my own money on the Choose app, and I love it, and it is definitely staying. I got both of these in San Jose. They were in a little bundle and had to be purchased together, and I wanted them as little espresso cups, but I prefer this one over this one, so I think I'm gonna get rid of this one and keep this guy. This little espresso cup was a gift from basically my godmother. Her name's Regina, and I love her so dearly, and I have to keep it. I only have room for 3 more mugs, and I have 10. It's good. I'm not a minimalist, but I don't need 1,000 mugs. So this is good for me. I'm starting with my favorites and ending with my least favorites. The hard thing about this one is it doesn't really match the aesthetic of the mug wall, but I love it. It's such a good like round mug for holding. So I think it needs to stay. There's room for 2 more. This one I purchased secondhand from an online thrift store a while ago, but it has some cracks and I think it's probably time to say goodbye to it. I thrifted this mug, but it is very bumpy and not super nice like on my lip when I'm actually drinking coffee. So I think this one is gonna have to go. I thrifted this 2-tone mug and I really love it. So this one's gonna stay as well. It's looking too full and it's taking away from, I feel like, a lot of the simplicity, which is kind of bumming me out. I have 8 mugs that are being given away and the rest are staying because I am not a minimalist, but I don't need all of these mugs. And these are truly my favorites and the ones that I'm always reaching for over and over again. And these are nice to have on hand, but truly I'm trying to focus on my favorites. Okay, we are done. It is absolutely beautiful. I love how it turned out. We have some of the old elements and some of the new, and it's all mixed together. And this just shows that home takes time. Curating a collection that you love and filling your home with things that you use and really value and take good care of takes time, and it is so worth it. I feel like this really reflects my design style and my personal preferences and the colors and textures that I love. And it just makes me so happy. I know I'm gonna be excited to make a cup of coffee every single morning here. I'm gonna make one right now and show you guys some close-ups of how this turned out. This video was so fun for me to make, and hopefully you enjoyed watching it. And I will see you next time. Bye.
You can never go wrong with slowly curating something, adding a few pops of life by adding plants, adding a few books and pieces of art for visual interest. I think that learning to decorate shelves is one of the most fun things to learn to decorate. I hope you learned a few things from this video, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.